The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a group of people that were on vacation, and when people are on vacation in certain places, all you do is go out to eat. He's talking about Florida. And maybe not be talking about Florida. Anyways, you're going out to eat with all the people. Kids are a group of people sitting down by a restaurant. The waiter comes over. They look at the waiter, and he doesn't look Jewish at all. And he's serving them, and because I guess maybe it was their first time there or whatever it was, they asked the waiter, do you happen to know of any other kosher restaurants? Not that we don't like it here, we love it here, we want to give you business, but do you know of any other ones also? He's like, no, there's not one other one, only this one, and you have to tip. He's like, yeah, and he started talking to them, and he told them where all the restaurants are, the kosher ones, and the people that were sitting there on vacation, they started picking up on the way he was talking. It sounded a little Hasidish maybe, and he knew all about the kosher stuff. So they're thinking okay, classic. This is a guy who's Hasidish, one of the derech, whatever. So they asked him. One of the people asked him there. They said, by the way, were you Hasidish or whatever? He's like, no. After hesitating and debating if he should answer, he's like, no, I'm actually Baal Tshuva. I'm a Baal Tshuva. So they're sitting there Baal Tshuva? Really? Yeah? No? Not for sure yet. Baal Tshuva. Who says yo? Yo! Right? Baal Tshuva, and they start thinking in their heads, this is the way the person described it to me, this is a classic Chassidish guy, went off the D, couldn't find a normal job, so became a waiter, which is a normal job, by the way, no offense to any waiters, it's a great job. But, he was a guy who's going to build, party animal and this, and it turns out that, he's a guy, he's a waiter in some random place, and Nebuch, a real Nebuch, and they may or may not have been talking about him after they left. Anyways, but the yesod of what they walked away with was the poor guy, loser. You serious? You left Yiddishkeit for this? This is what you said? Okay. Anyways, the next day, they went back to the same place. I guess they decided to go back there or whatever it was, and they saw that he had a little yarmulke on, and he had tzitzis on now, and he was super embarrassed yesterday. That from people came, and the waiters there, and they asked him if he was Hasidish, and so yeah, classic. And the same thing, like a real Nebuch, and whatever, getting all dressed up, trying to avoid the story, this and that. Anyways, the last day that they're on vacation, they decided before they're going to figure out the ride to the airport, they're going to go back to get a bite, and they'll go back to this place again. So they ended up going back to this place. Meanwhile, the whole past few days, they've been sort of judging him in the head and stuff like that. Not focusing too much, but when they saw him or whatever, talked about him, it was this poor guy, a loser, right? Anyways, before they went to the airport, before they figured out their ride, they went back to this place to get back to eat. Anyways, when he came to serve them at that point, they just asked him if he knows of any kosher, Jewish, car service things, because they're leaving late at night, and to Uber late at night, I don't know, maybe it's not so safe, whatever the case is, but, it would be better if there was a Jewish car service thing. So he said that there's not, but I could drive you. I'll drive you to the airport, I have no problem, I'm not doing anything tonight. So they ended up getting into the car with him, and he drove them to the airport. And on the way, they sort of asked him, when did you become a Baal Tshuva? You know what I'm saying? Just tell us when you left a derech, and what happened. Was it your Rebbe? Did he call you fat? Was it internet? What was the story? And he said, no, he said, I'm a Baal Tshuva. And he started describing what happened to him, how he grew up totally unaffiliated, and he was in public school with his friends, and they started doing bad things. And as a young kid, 15 years old, 16 years old, he decided he wants to know more about Yiddishkeit, and he wants to really change his ways, and he wants to become somebody who's close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But he couldn't eat in his house. His parents were not down for that stuff. I'm sure you correlate to that in that parsha. The parents are not interested, and they're not this, they're not that. So no, we're not. No. What are you wasting your time for? And he had to take 2 jobs in order to support himself, in order to eat. And he's a little kid, 15, 16, 17, whatever, a young teenager. Or an old teenager, I don't know, whatever you call that, but 15, 16, 17 is not, and he's struggling to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And yeah, he's not ready. People think, so he told them, he said, people think that Baal Tshuva, all those people, it's 1 second, I want to be from your tefillah, putting it all. That's not how it works. It's a long process. Until you really find your place. It's a long process, right? How many years, right?
Still working.
Yeah, still working on it, okay? But I'll go put them, people think it's a 1 minute thing. So why are you not holding there already? Why are you only putting on yarmulke the second day? Why it's not always? And it's a very, very long process. But he was saying how all of his friends ended up in this therapy and that therapy and doing this bad thing and that bad thing and rehab and he was working very, very hard to find his way. and to get close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, he had to take 2 jobs, and one of the jobs was being a waiter. And he's not Hasidish. He wasn't of the Derech Nadrab, but he's coming from the other way. And it was just amazing. So these people, at least the person who emailed me, said that like it hit him like a ton of bricks. Like, whoa. I was just like for 3 days judging this person, calling him a loser, throwing him down in my mind, talking about him, being like, this guy's a nobody. This guy is a nobody. Leaving Yiddishkeit, leaving Torah to become a waiter in some random vacation spot, like trying to make like small yarmulke on the side, hanging down there like with some tape and glue. Like, what are you kidding me? Like, you poor thing. And we were so wrong. We were so wrong.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org